Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be like a story time. Okay. And the topic is about Führerschein Polizei. Mm. Okay. If you are new on this channel, basically what we do on this channel is to tell you about how you can find your way to Germany as a student or as an intending worker or as a worker. Let me just put it as a worker. But then today, it's also going to benefit you because even as a student, I was once a student. In fact, I'm still a student, right? So that doesn't stop you from um adding more value to yourself because so today's topic is about Führerschein. How long does it take me to have my Führerschein? And what was it with Polizei? I mean the policemen and my driving. All right. I don't know if I should really say tell this story, but I think I want to. There's nothing there. It's just for you guys to learn. Like I've always been telling you on this channel, I will always come here mostly with what I've experienced because I believe experience is the best teacher. And I also do not like people falling in the pit I'd once stayed or I'd once experienced. I want to tell people that don't move on that path because it's dangerous. You better move on this path because I'd experienced that danger. Yeah, so I think with that, life becomes easier for everyone. Okay, so I collected my Führerschein September 2024. Meanwhile, I started this journey of Führerschein because I actually told someone when the person was asking me that, oh, how long does it take you to take your Führerschein? And then when I told the person, I said, the person said, you this your story, eh? Go add it on your YouTube channel. And I said I had that plan, but I was just, keeping it back. But yeah, now I'm doing that. Okay, so I started my Führerschein journey 2022. Yeah, 2022 November to be precise. I can't really remember the date or the day, but then that was November 2022. First aid, first aid class. Okay, like the first aid class would be holding at that time, early that November. So I quickly came for the first aid class because if I didn't do that first aid class at the time, I need to extend my journey of this license to drive. And I didn't want to do that because I'm just one person that if I already set my target to achieve something, if I don't achieve it, I ain't backing out. I ain't backing out. I'm not going to back out. So I don't want that first aid class to like shift my plans because my mind was already made at the time. And do you know what? Do I have money to start this Fura Shine? No. So I'm using this medium and this opportunity to encourage you guys that are thinking that our Fura Shine costs a lot. Fura Shine is money. Yes, it is money, but then don't think about the money before you start because if you do that, then you might end up not doing it in years to come. And as you can see, nothing is getting cheaper in the whole world, not only in Germany. Everything is getting, before you dream, you sleep, you close your eyes, and you open it. Everything is getting costlier and costlier, more expensive. So you just have to do what you think you want to do. Though some people, okay, let me just digress a little bit. Some people do not really want to drive. They just want to have the Führerschein. For me, I don't know why you want to have Führerschein without driving. Because driving, no matter what, especially in this Deutschland, in this Germany, you have to be practicing your driving every time. If you fail to, my sister or my brother, you might end up just carrying your car one day and end up turning back to your garage and not coming out again because the fear is going to be something you can't even explain. So I do not encourage getting your Fura shine and not driving. That is no, 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 no for me. Because even some jobs that would require you to have Fura shine, They expected you to be able to drive. They are not writing that skill there just for mouth sake. They really, because some companies are going to give you car. So if they are giving you a car and you cannot drive, how do you explain that? So please, once you have your Fura Shine, endeavor to drive. Even if it is for you to just pick someone that can drive very well to be by your side, just to take away those fear and drive. Please try it. If I could have done it, I believe there's no one that couldn't do that. Okay, so that's just a small digression for those that do not want to drive or just to have their driving license. It's not too good, right? Okay. So November 2022, I started this journey. Just to fast forward everything, I don't want to be breaking it down the way I moved. I ended up having my Fura Shine 2024 September, almost 2 years. Like let me say 1 year and 10 months, right? The reason it was that I wasn't having my classes as I was supposed to. Not every time, because like I told you, I don't want to incur debt unnecessarily. So I go for classes as soon as I know that I have the money to pay for it, because I wasn't working full time, and even my part-time wasn't so much money, because I don't want to die. I don't let me use that word, because I don't want to stress myself so much with work. So I only work to the level that I feel like I'm contented, I'm okay, I can pay my bills, I can eat good food, I can wear what I would feel like wearing, and I just don't want to stress. Making so much at the end of the day, stressing out, right? Okay, so that was the reasoning. So many times when my teacher calls me for classes, and I just tell him, Papa, I'll come in the next 2 weeks. So I was doing that. And at a point, I wasn't even driving. In fact, this was even when I got to realize that, Lola, by the time you have this Fura Shine, you must get your car as soon as you can and start driving, because you can forget. Because there was a point I think I didn't even drive for like 4 months. And at this time, it wasn't my fault any longer. It was my tutor, the person teaching me how to drive. He was sick and he was hospitalized. He was just away for like almost 5 months, right? So, and by the time he was back, I was even the one now running after him. Where will I drive? Where will I drive? He would tell me, I will call you, I will call you. Meanwhile, I guess he was busy with other students, right? So for like good 6 months, I did not drive. So that was part of my 1 year and 10 months. So you can see that that wasn't really my fault either. So that was that. So added to the fact that so many times too, I might not even go for driving for like 2 weeks, for like 3 weeks, for 1 month. I might not go for driving because I don't want to incur so much debt. Because at sometimes too, I'm also doing some other things by the side, and I was just trying to prioritize and also give them the necessary attention. I don't want to put everything on free ration, right? Because I know free ration is going to cost a lot. Okay, so after I finished with my classes and I was to write my examination, my first attempt, I didn't pass my free ration at a go. My first attempt, the mistake I made was that, how do I explain this? There was a point where the road was so curvy, it was so curvy, and the maximum speed was to be 40 kilometer per hour. It was to be 40, which I drove. So after that 40, I couldn't see any change of speed, right? But always in the theory classes, we were being told or taught that there are some places that you just note how they look, then you know the type of speed to run there. So that means by extension, sometimes those speed are not written on any signboard, right? But then you have to picture it, because they thought you should have known that, right? Which I did, quite, I did know that. So at that point, I was supposed to run or to drive at 100 kilometers per hour, but I was driving 60 because I wasn't so sure. I know I cannot drive 40 on this road, but what's going to happen? Should I increase it to 100? Should I increase it to? I wasn't so sure. So I decided to stay at the middle. That at least, though, at most they will say, okay, I didn't drive 40, but 60 is not too bad, but maybe 100 would have been too much. That was just my mentality at the time. So that was how I failed my first examination, my first attempt. And by the time we find a space, like a place we could park, and the examiner, because during your Furashan examination, it's going to be only you and your falera or falega again, the person that taught you how to drive beside you, and the external examiner behind you. So that's going to be your passenger. So you're going to have like two passengers with you. So this examiner told me, he called my name and he said, what was I supposed to drive? And I told him 100. Then he said, why didn't you drive 100? Why are you driving 60? I told him, that was, I couldn't even say it because I do not want to argue. I do not want to argue. And I told him, I'm sorry. I told him, ensure they go. But then ensure the Google was not working. I'm sorry, was not taking. So he told me to park and my falera should take the car from me that I'm done with my examination. That was actually so painful because I paid. So I went home and that was that. So then it will also take someone that failed like some time to be able to register again because they have a fixed time for all this examination. You can't just wake up one morning and say you want to write your examination. So you have to be booked in for it. We call it like make an appointment for it. So at the time, there was no appointment again for like almost 4 months. So hence those duration of lengthy time to have my full shine eventually. So I couldn't book for that. But then because I'd already experienced the fact that when my Fura and my Falera was sick, by the time I would start driving, I could see that it's not good to stay off this car for a long time. So I told him that I would like to book in for extra classes sometimes. That I would like to book it for extra classes, because of my initial experience, just for me to know what to do at the right time so that this time around my second examination will not even be worse compared to just failing because of speed, right? So I was doing that, and luckily for me, it mastered me. I think I was doing that maybe once in 3 weeks. Yeah, but that was, when you are even driving in your imagination, I was doing that. Okay, so the second time I passed, I did my examination again. Then that second time, I did not pass. I did not pass my second examination. Why didn't I pass? Everything you have been doing that you will do with no stress. Hmm? That you will do with no stress. That normally you would do. Even my my falera was like that day. Dada, was hast du gemacht? Was ist passiert? Like he was asking me that what happened? Like, why did I do that? Like this is what he knows me that I can do so well. And this is reversing. Because there are two methods of reversing that I was being taught, and I think maybe for all far shoelace to left driving schools. It's either you know how to park beside a car or you know how to park in front of a car, right? Which I know so well. Like I enjoy doing that. This time around, I was being asked to do this, and I was rolling this car. And the thing is that once you tried twice, the third time you already failed. The third time I got it, but the man told me this is no, 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 no for him, because he never expected me to try it 3 times. But the third time I got it, but and it was because I was just, I don't know what even came over me. I think it was a little bit fear. And I don't even know why I should have such a fear. I don't know why. But that was just it. And when he told, and you know the funny thing, this time around, I didn't even drive away from the factory before this thing happened. I did not even move like one pole away from this factory before this happened. So it was like I went there to mark my register, pay them, and come back home. Hi, yeah, yeah. This was the most painful one. The most painful one. Ah, and my factory was like 9. In fact, my factory, I said my factory, my father too was not happy. He was like, he can't even believe it. That this is what I do most. That he knows that I'm even good at. That why? I said, I don't know. So that was that. So the third time, because this time around, if you fail, from what I heard later, they are going to send you to idiot school. They are going to send you to idiot school and tell you that they have to test your brain, see if everything is okay about you, right? But thank God I passed it on time, because I can't imagine me going to one idiot school whereby you go there and pay your money, be known as an idiot that you are not. So thank God I didn't go to idiot school. So the third time I passed, I drove so well, and I drove at length. Like, I think I even drove like up to 45 minutes or more than, maybe, I don't know, but it was a long journey that day. I remembered. So, and the external supervisor was like, you drove so well. So why did you fail those 2 times? Because they will know this time around it's even going to be new external supervisor. It's going to be like the first time it was totally new person, second time totally new person, third time totally new person. So it's not going to be the same person coming back, right? So this person, so but then on their, in Germany, they keep your record, they keep your data. So this person already knew that I failed, the reasons I failed, why I failed, right? So it was like, you drove so well, you drove perfectly, you drove like a good driver, like you even drive as if you've been driving for so long. Then why did you fail this? I told him I can't even explain that. That was just the truth. He said, anyways, that happens sometimes. So that was how I passed my Fura Shine that time, and I received it. And the funny thing, and which I really love so much about it, is that I also got my Fura Shine September. Like, I think it was even on my birthday or a day before my birthday. I went to um the place to pick it, because the machine that they were supposed to use to print it out for me, and my fash really was faulty, so they asked me to go to a place to pick it up, right? So that was where I went to pick it up. So that was that. Okay, so moving to politai, my earlier my experience with the police, which also happened like, I think early this month or late last month, right? It's either late August or early September. I was driving at night. I was driving at night. I went to another city, Hanover, to pick up my husband, because there was distortion. So I went to pick him. So while I was coming back, I realized I couldn't really see so well like that, like I thought I should, right? So I decided to use the beam light. So, and this beam light, you're not supposed to put it on so much. You only put it on when you just want to get people's attention sometimes. Not really, not something you have to like let stand for a while driving. So that was the only thing I could use to drive. I just realized that. So I put it on. And I was not, and the road was not too wide, so it was a little bit narrow, because they were walking. There's a construction on that route, which is Hanover. So I was not driving so fast. Normally, I was supposed to drive that place, I think 100. Maybe I was on 80, 85. So, and I was on the fast lane. I was not supposed to be on the fast lane if I knew I don't want to drive so fast. But because people were not much on the road, right? And and I just feel like, I don't know why, I just feel like doing that. So I was just like that. And the next thing I saw was the police eye moving in front of us. It was even my husband that called my attention to it, that this way, the way these police eye people are driving. I said, imagine, police eye are even running. That's normally they're supposed to run 100 here or 80. Why are they running more than that? They ran in front of me, and at a point they were jumping, moving from left to right. And my husband was like, are you sure this is just normal? Then I said, and at that moment I was like, it was done on me that, oh, this is actually police eye. Oh." And I said, I don't know why they are doing like that, but all I know is that if they really want my attention, if I've done anything wrong, from what I have learned, there's something should pop up from the top of their car, like from that screen, and that should say, fogged me abite, which is I should follow them, please. Before I finished that word, next thing I saw was fogged me abite. My mind just boom boom. My mind pumped out. Like my mind actually pumped out. Seriously speaking, I will not lie to you. My mind pumped out, and my mind just pumped out. I will not lie to you. My mind just boom. My mind pumped out, and my husband just said, "Just calm down. Don't worry. Let's just follow them." So I followed them. So we actually went to the nearest filling station. So we got there. They asked for my Fura Shine. I gave it to them. And they asked if I'm the owner of the car. I told them yes. And they asked for my tile twy, my people. My tile twy normally was supposed to be in the car often, right? But there was this time, I don't know who went to use a false key on my car, and the person actually spoiled the key part. And I was wondering if this person could have succeeded opening. What did the person want to do with my car? That was strange, right? So I just removed that tie from my car and I put it in my purse, which I know that I would always carry anywhere I go. But this day, when they asked for this tie, seriously speaking, this day when they asked for this tattoo, I can't even, my brain couldn't even process where I put it. So I just told them, I opened where I thought it should be, I couldn't find it. I showed them one paper that was not even related to what they were asking from me. And I told them what happened. I said, I know I have this paper, but the thing is that there was one time someone used a false key on my car, and that was what prompted me to remove it from there. And right now, I can't even remember where I dropped it, but I know I have it. Forgetting the fact that it was in the purse I was holding. It was when we got home, I saw that thing. And I said, okay, those police people, they were actually nice, because they actually want everyone to be safe. That is their major work. So it was like, okay, that one aside. So then he said, why was I driving with the beam lights on? Then I told him, I I know it is not supposed to be, but I couldn't really see and I have to drive. And he said, do you know it's dangerous to other drivers? And I said, yes, I know, especially those coming like opposite direction, right? I said, yes. Then he said, then he checked the car. Then he realized, then he asked me to put on the light, every light I did. Then he realized the other bulb was not working, which I do not even know. So on this note, I would advise or I would tell everyone that please, whenever you want to leave your home, even in the afternoon or night, check all your lights if they are working. Your blinker light, your brake light, your beam light, your driving lights, your every light, please check them, because that I did not do before I left home. If I had done that, I would have seen it. So, and luckily for us, we were at a filling station and we had to ask if we could get the lights there. They were selling lights, but there's no one to open and fix for us. So before the police I left, I asked them if I could just drive without the beam lights, just gently home, because we were about getting home at least. But then I think we were still having like 30 minutes to drive. Then I asked them if I could just get home without changing the light. And they said yes. Then the second day I should take it to the workshop. So that was my experience with so that was my experience with police eye during my driving time. So I hope with this you have learned a lot and you put them into cognizance so that you don't make such a mistake that I also made. All right. Thank you. Bye. And please do not forget to like, share, and comment. Bye bye.